先从身边的人开始去关照他，先从自己的家里人呢来关照他呢，让我们自己呢能够慢慢的减少呢对身边的人的这些的对身边人的恨，然后呢。因为一般人的习惯呢，很多事情都只有想到自己，不管是处在家里的事物上呢，先想到自己，乃至于呢，对外面的社会国家呢，也都是先由自己首先开始的。所以在我们在修持佛法的时候呢，也是一样呢，要先从自己呢家人开始。当你能够对家人无私，慢慢的你就请而呢，对于这个社会、对这个国家的无私呢，就慢慢的会减少一点。如果说我们能够呢观外面的所有的众生都如乳母众生一样呢，我们慢慢的就会越来越快乐。因为我们首先要想到我要怎么样快乐，就是别人要这样子的快乐，以这样的心来利他。这样子的话呢，自然你的恨也会减少，你的这个包容性也会增加。同时呢，你必定一定要从自家人开始的，因为我们绝对不可能说你从大的然后再做到小的，一定要从最基本的事情开始。也就是说，当我们要所谓的利益众生的时候，如果你不先利益你自己的家人，是不可能说你会利益到其他和你没有任何因缘的人。所以呢，必定要从这个家人开始做起，你才能够慢慢训练到真正的无私，那你才能够慢慢训练到真正的所谓的可以利益众生。你的这个无私的执着呢，这样子才能够呢开始成型。所以呢，如果你不从家里人呢开始起修的话呢，你这个自无量心呢是不可能说能够真正建立到的。如果不从内心开始，然后你也不可能扩及到你的外在的四周。那这是我们必定要去除我执的最基本的功夫，是从这样子开始的。那如果我们能够珍惜并且努力做到呢，能够真正的从家人然后来做到利益众生的话呢，我们才能够真正说我们是在修持菩萨圣的这样子的法门。这样子的话呢，我们才能够真正在因果业力上呢，能够得到说借由这个无执，对自己的去除掉这样的执着，然后能够利他，这个才是呢大乘行者应该做的。那如果我们有这样子的念头，才是说我们真正的是大乘的弟子。
Anyway, I think I won't elaborate too much, because I think we have a shortage of time, So anyway, basically, and then when you reach a point, where your desire to benefit all the sentient beings is so tremendous that you cannot wait for eons and eons to become enlightened. You want to get enlightened immediately, right now, solely for the benefit of sentient beings. Then you enter the part of the Vajrayana, and then you can call yourself you have reached the level of Vajrayana, or you can say you are mentally ready for the Vajrayana. So anyway, the Hinayana or Theravada vows and practices are usually to control. Of course, ultimately it is to Dharma itself means to improve your mind, or positively develop your mind from negative to positive. That's the meaning of Dharma, the Chue. So how the Theravada way of doing it is, the Theravada or Hinayana is controlling through the body and speech, because if you control the body and speech, for example, if you are feeling a lot of desire, you control your body by never looking at them, never looking at the desirable objects. So Hinayana monks are taught to look down on the ground, never look people in the face, So that's why if they are ugly, you don't feel like they are ugly, apprehension. If they are pretty, you don't feel attached to. So this is the through the body, control of the body and speech, taught to control the mind. And the Mahayana is through controlling the mind, control the body and speech. Through the developing the strong, genuine bodhicitta, or the wish to benefit all sentient beings, automatically a person without any self-interest, with selflessness to benefit all beings, whatever he does physically in his speech, from his speech will definitely be positive, Through the mind, the control goes outward, And from Vajrayana point of view, is that the one of the main reason, why we are not enlightened is because of the attachment to ego, the concept of the self, So what is the quickest way of what do you call it, recognizing the Buddha within yourself, you know, is first we cannot recognize because our so attachment to our external thing, you know, we have I look like this is my face, this is my speech, you know, this is me, you know, we have so strong attachment to these things. So in order to compare that, in order to, what do you call it, minimize that, first is the method, you know, Vajrayana composes the method and wisdom always together. Also that's why we have, you know, Vajrayana has a male and female, you know, what do you call it, you know, Buddhas and female Buddha together, you know, union, you know. That means the method and the wisdom together. So the method part is, you know, so we are so attached to our body right now. So because we are attached to the concept of, you know, the I am like this, my body is like this is me, I have this color, So in order to combat that, you visualize yourself as a, you know, let's say for today, you know, Vajrakilaya, you know, Vajrakilaya, you visualize yourself as a Vajrakilaya. That also we say, you know, not as a flesh and blood, but as a reflection of moon in the water, you know, or your reflection of your face in the mirror, you know, something that is existing, yet at the same time it's emptiness, you know. So that is the what you call it, the method part of the Vajrayana. Then the wisdom part is, you know, understanding that, you know, the externally, you know, we visualize yourself as either we visualize as a human being the way we are right now, or we visualize as a Vajrakilaya in the nature of the all things, nature of unfabricated, you know, unfabricated by our concept, unfabricated by our imagination, you might say, you know, you, Vajrakilaya, nature of your mind, Buddha are all one, you know, understanding that, you know, that is the, you know, the wisdom part of the, you know, the Vajrayana. Because, you know, right now we cannot understand that because we are so strong attached to the concept of, you know, the how I am, you know, how I look, how I speak, what are my thoughts, what are my opinion. So in order to minimize that, visualizations are, you know, very much recommended. But when you visualize also, again you feel strongly that, you know, that Vajrakilaya exists, you know, Vajrakilaya is something, you know, really exists, you know, very strongly, fanatically. And then, you know, Vajrakilaya can also be, you know, problem for you, you know. So that's why Vajrakilaya ultimately has to be understood as, you know, your guru, understood as the nature of your mind. So, you know, so that ultimately, you know, we can realize the true Buddha, you know. True Buddha is the Dharmakaya or the Mahamudra or Dzogchen, whatever we call it. So these are the, you know, the methods, you know. Since we are receiving the Vajrayana teaching today, you know, usually the teaching goes before and then, you know, when you reach some level, the initiation. So anyway, since we are doing the teaching, what I wanted to present, I know that in Taiwan, you know, all the people have received so many teachings and blessing. So I'm sure you all must be, you know, not only Vajrayana, but, you know, the very high Vajrayana practitioner, you know. So, you know, I'm sure, but this is, you know, just to sort of, you know, remind ourselves, check ourselves. And then if we are any of this level, you know, the correct view or the Theravada, or it's something to be very proud of, something to be happy about, because at least you are on the correct path of the Dharma, you know. Once you're on the correct path, you will ultimately, you know, reach the correct destination, you know. So that's something that you should feel happy about. But at the same time, you know, we should know that what are our next steps that we have to, you know, develop. What is the next stage of development that we have to aim for? You know, that is my point of explaining.
那么，当我们提到是说呢，对于就如前面仁波切所讲到的，就如我们之前呢所提到的是说，当我们在学习佛法的时候呢，我们常常呢，由于我们的我执呢，使得我们呢并不能够真正的去入到这个佛法的里面的境界。那么即使在金刚乘，虽然说我们在金刚乘里面呢，乃至于在修持很多金刚乘的法门，事实上也是要由从小乘的这个戒律，然后慢慢起修，再到大乘的这个法教。而由于呢这样子的话呢，才能够增长我们的正念，而能够将这个恶念呢转为正念的时候呢，这样子我们才可以说是这个佛教徒呢所要修的事情。而在小乘里面，他所修的法门的重点就是呢，由于他们很强调说我们的自身身语意是不净的，所以呢我们要来控制